Welcome, welcome, welcome to this Sinners Sunday. And it's great to have you here on Substack. Smash those hearts, won't you? It'd be really wonderful if you kept doing that throughout the time. Welcome to this Substack with yours truly, live with Omar Moore. You're watching that right now. Fellow Substackers, a very good morning and a very good afternoon to you, wherever you may be across the world at this time. It's a great pleasure to have you here. Amy, Edie, Jennifer, Igor Isa, and so many others. Thank you for joining on this Sunday morning or afternoon. Um, I want to announce the giveaway, of course, today that I'm going to be doing in a few moments for paid subscribers, and you'll be able to watch that whether you're a paid subscriber or not. That's coming up in a moment. The Oscars, of course, are this evening or this afternoon, wherever you might be. All of you, thank you for joining. It's a great pleasure to have you here. The Academy Awards tonight live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Look, I'm someone who has a love-hate relationship with the Academy Awards for lots of different reasons. I am someone who's a film critic, as well as an attorney and numerous other things. And I've been writing about the Oscars and film things for a long, long time. You can look at my work on popcornreel.com, which I've really not kept up since the pandemic, but still a lot of things on there. I'll put the link up in the chat where you can go to read a lot of the movie reviews and interviews I've done over the years. So let me just put that in the chat really quickly. I just wanted to say one or two things before I get into doing the giveaway here on this Sunday. Thank you for your precious time. I value it very highly, and I really take it very seriously that you have taken the time out of your busy schedule on your restful Sunday, and I hope it is restful for you for coming in here and joining. I just want to say one or two things really quickly. Just reminders that do you please check your voter registration wherever you might be. Check your voter registration at least twice a month. Tell your friends and family to do the same. Tell your social media followers and subscribers to do the same. It's really, really important that you do that because you know what's going on with these Republicans and this regime and its voting and what they want to do to voting and what they want to do to the midterms. So I want to just remind you of that. And I also want to, and thank you, Kimmy, for the kind words about the shirt. I do appreciate that. I also want to remind you to educate people on voting. I know that there's a No King's March coming up on March the 28th, but there's lots of things that we can do between now and then. I really would hope that you and I know that I'm doing this, but I really would hope that you also are doing things to empower people, to educate them between now and the 28th, right? You don't have to wait until the 28th to do something, right? There's lots of things that we all can do. And Igor Isa has put some things in the link there that I think in the chat that you should look at as well. Poll workers, being an observer, all of those things. I've worked as a precinct committee captain at the polls myself here in town. So I know that these are lots of things we all can do. So we can empower ourselves. We have a lot more power than we think. So I just want to reiterate that. Obviously, the news is what it is, and we know what it is. And we have to take care of our mental health. Very important that we do that. Very, very important that we do that. So please keep all those important things in mind. Hello, Angie. Happy Sunday to you as well. Angie Decadence, what a pleasure to have you here as well, as always. Thank you, Angie, and I hope you're enjoying your Sunday. It's very nice and sunny out here in San Francisco, California, and the gas prices here, by the way, are nearly $7. In California, the prices are always so much higher when it comes to gas, but I can tell you that the gas prices as of yesterday, $6.93 at a gas station down the street from here. In Los Angeles, where I was last Sunday, it was $7.12 at a gas station there, and $6.98 and $6.93 at other gas stations as well. So yeah, the gas is going up, the prices are going up, and but your wages are not going up. You know that. Excuse me. That's the thing, right? So we've got a lot of work to do between now and November. So that is the reality of things here. It's crazy. Gas is going up. Edie from Canada points out that gas in Canada is $2.01 for regular, but it went up a lot. Now, yeah, that may not seem like a lot of money to a lot of people in the United States, but in Canada, yeah, that's a big deal. Gas going up a lot. Prices going up $1 or $2 in places around the United States, and it's going to get higher. So unfortunately, when this with this crazy and illegal war that's going on, and all the things you're hearing, yeah, things are going to get a lot worse before they get a lot better. So we have to empower ourselves, and we have to do everything that we can do in our power to educate people, right? So we are not powerless. I just want to reiterate that we are not powerless. So please keep that in mind. Um, a lot of folks are really understanding how painful this stuff is now with these prices of gas. People in the chat have talked about the gas prices wherever they are. By the way, before I do get into this giveaway, I'm curious. People have been posting the gas prices in their neighborhoods or in their cities. If anyone else would like to post their gas prices, what they've been seeing in their neighborhoods and their cities, please do so, and I'll just read them out before I get to giving away the prize I'm giving away for paid subscribers only. They are ready and willing and able. I've got them all ready here in the bag. So that'll be in a moment. But if you want to post the prices of gas in your town or in your neck of the woods, please do so. I would love to read those out because, yeah, in San Francisco, they are absolutely through the roof, and California usually is higher than everywhere else in the country. So not a surprise, but people around the country and in other parts of the world cannot believe when they're seeing $7 and $6.93 and all kinds of ridiculous things like that. So, these are the kinds of things that are going on. And look, the bottom line is that it will get worse before it gets better, but we have to have the confidence and belief that we are able to get through this, and we will get through this. We've been through a lot worse in this country, by the way, than what we're experiencing now. And I've said this over and over again. And our ancestors were able to fight back and prevail in all of these things. So I want you to take heart that you have more power than you think. Some people have been posting, as I've asked, gas prices before I do give away I Am Not Your Negro. Some people have been posting the gas prices in the chat. Good morning to you, by the way, as well, Susan. Nice to see you here. Susan has said, by the way, it's about $3.60 here in Connecticut. Nancy says in Eureka, California, it's $6.45. Igor Issa had posted earlier about it in Los Angeles, saying I believe it was 553. I think. Let me just scroll back down to what Igor Issa had to say. It is around 550. Igor Issa types in Los Angeles, mostly around $5.50, except in downtown LA, it was always a buck higher. And yeah, I was in downtown LA a week ago, Igor, and yeah, I saw $6.93. I took a photo of it actually, and actually posted it on my Substack a few days ago. And I saw $7.12 down in Los Angeles last Sunday as well. So yeah, it's crazy. And here in San Francisco, it's $6.93 at a gas station, literally down the street from where I am. So I took a photo of that and posted that yesterday here on Substack. So that is what is happening. I'm going to read out some more. Thank you for sending these because I think it's important for people to listen to this. People who come across this video later on can listen to what people have been posting, and I'm read them out. Jennifer has said she is traveling through Tennessee, $3.49 there. Let's see here. J.E. McAuliffe writes, Monroe County, New York, a regular gasoline is $3.58, mid-grade $4.06, and premium $4.45. So that is what J.E. McAuliffe has written. Angie Decadence writes, in Maryland, $3.60 per gallon, up from around $2.97 per gallon last week. Wow, that's 70 cents. That's almost 70 cents. It's 63 cents. I mean, that's from last week. So things are really, really getting worse. The economy stinks. We are in a depression era economy. I don't even think it's we are essentially in a depression era economy. Last year, by the way, a grand total of 116,000 jobs were created. A grand total for the whole calendar year, dear viewer. 116,000 jobs created in the United States in 1 year. That's not many jobs, folks. That's usually an undercount for an average month of jobs in the United States. But under this Trump regime, in the entirety of 2025, 116,000 jobs created. True story. You can fact check everything I'm saying. It is absolutely a fact. Tips, Igor offers some tips. Yeah, things are bad, Kimmy. And I'm not being a doomsayer here. I'm giving it to you straight, no chaser. As you know, Kimmy, and as everyone else knows, I call a thing, and I don't hesitate to do that. And yeah, things are very rough, but we're going to get through this, you and I. We are going to get through this, and we have the power to. And as I said earlier, we need to take care of ourselves. Self-care, very important. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Let me now give away on this Sinners Sunday, on Oscar Sunday. We're going to be giving away here. I Am Not Your Negro. Now it's not going to be this copy because this is this is my personal copy, and as you can see, it's been through the ringer a little bit. But I am going to give away a brand new copy of this particular I Am Not Your Negro. Not this exact one, but either your choice of Blu-ray or DVD. And so this is going to be coming to one of the paid subscribers. That's why it really does pay to be a paid subscriber. I appreciate you subscribing to my Substack, whether you do it paid or free of charge. I really thank you for that. Paid subscribers do get opportunities to win things like this, opportunities to win books. And I've given away a number of books already to paid subscribers at random. There's a number of books that I'm giving away in the future, in addition to some of the ones that I have given away in the past, including books like this, including books like this. As you can see, Roland Martin, great book. This is a great book. Some subscribers are already in receiving books like this, and of course Vice President Harris's book as well. And I'll be giving away additional books for paid subscribers only down the line here throughout this calendar year. So without any further ado, for the paid subscribers in the building, I am going to be giving away a copy of this great documentary about James Baldwin. It's based on his unfinished manuscript from 1978, I believe. It might have been 1980, but I think it's 1978. His unfinished manuscript entitled Remember This House. And so this is a really good documentary, directed by Raoul Peck, who recently did the film documentary Orwell 2+2=5, which is a very good documentary as well. Raoul Peck. He's also here on Substack, so you should subscribe to Raoul Peck, Raoul, last name Peck. So he's someone you should subscribe to. Tremendous filmmaker. And he directed this and it came out in 2016, was nominated for an Oscar the following year for Best Documentary Feature nomination. Very good. This is a very good film, a very good documentary, and it certainly is worth watching, especially now. I really do urge you to watch this. And I know you can find it for free, but it's got commercials all over it on certain places. But this is not. This has got. I assure you, this has got no commercials on it. This is actually the real deal. A very good documentary. Either you can do it Blu-ray, or I can send you the DVD edition. Either of them is brand new for one paid subscriber only, who I'm about to reveal in here. So let's get this going. All right. Jay says, "Wow, that was the year before I was born. Feeling old or young?" Well, Jay, it's great to hear from you. And you are only as young or old as you feel. And age really is a state of mind. I know that some people bristle when I say that, but we're living in a very ageist society as well. So there's that too, and I know well about that. So here we go, and the winner of a copy by Blu-ray or DVD of this paid subscriber is going to be. Oh, let's see who it is. Let's see who it is. And by the way, let me announce that I am only really revealing initials or first letters of names because none of the subscribers who are paid has given any consent to me to release their full names. So, out of respect for that, because I don't know that no one has contacted me either way and said to release the name or not. So, I'm erring on the side of not releasing full names because I don't know that any pay subscriber wants their full name out there. I don't know that. So, I'm very conscientious about protecting privacy. So, I am very clear on that. So, you might look at this as it being strange to do it this way, but I do it this way for a very deliberate reason. So, the winner, and you will get their initial in a moment, let's see, is I'm opening up the piece of paper and keep smashing those hearts, everyone. Thank you very much for that. That is the winner right there. So, and it's JM. I don't know if you can make that out, JM, but I want to congratulate whoever that is. I know who it is, but I will be able to contact that person later on and today. And congratulations to that person. So thank you very much indeed. It's a great pleasure to have you aboard here. Um, this has been Live with Omar Moore on this particular Oscars Sunday, Sinners Sunday. I'll be back, by the way, after the Oscars are over tonight with my review of the Oscars telecast and the winners, the losers, the speeches, and my overall impression. The Academy has been around now for 99 years. This is the 98th Oscars. It takes place tonight, again, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here in the United States, live on ABC television, televised around the world in over 200 countries. It will be very interesting, by the way, tonight to see what Conan O'Brien, the Oscars host, has to say, whether he's going to talk about this illegal war, what he will say around that, what he will, whether he will mention gas prices. You know, I should have done an Oscar contest about whether or not Conan O'Brien will make some kind of reference or joke around gas prices. I wonder if he will do that in his monologue tonight. What if you're a betting person? Would you bet that he mentions something about gas prices tonight? And Igor says sinners. Yes, Igor Isa. Sinners. That is the password today. Sinners is the password on Sinners Sunday. We will see what the Academy says. You know, I've had a lot of issues with the Academy over the years because, of course, black folk do not fare well with this Academy that's, you know, traditionally been all white, almost virtually all white and all male and all over the age of 65 years old. The Los Angeles Times, by the way, did a really good story on this a number of years ago, which I referenced in a Substack that I wrote back in January about the whiteness of the Academy membership, which, by the way, Cheryl Boone Isaacs, the only black woman to ever have been an Academy president, took real steps in 2012 and 2013 to diversify the Academy. And I'm telling you, I don't think Sinners would have received 16 nominations if it wasn't for the work that Cheryl Boone Isaacs did back in 2012 and 2013. I'm telling you, she has a lot of credit. When Sinners wins tonight, and it will win, it's not going to be a film that goes without winning anything. It's going to win at least 9 Oscars tonight. But when Sinners wins tonight, a lot of the plaudits, as well as to obviously the filmmakers like Ryan Coogler, the director, who's a fantastic person and a brilliant director. And when I think Delroy Lindo wins tonight, and Michael B. Jordan, I hope, wins tonight, and Wunmi Mosaku wins tonight, and all the rest, Hannah Beachler, the production designer, great costume designer, Ruthie Carter, when these folks win tonight, Cheryl Boone Isaacs, who teaches at I think Arizona State University out there, has a lot of people. A lot of people need to thank her, and I wonder if anybody will thank her when they get their Oscars tonight. Maybe not, maybe not. But Cheryl Boone Isaacs, the only black woman ever to have been the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in its 99-year history, is somebody that I hope folks thank tonight, because I'll thank her tonight, and I'll thank her here on the post Oscars edition of the Live with Omar Moore Substack, which you are presently watching. Please, please, please do subscribe to this Substack. Restack what you're watching. Please do. Please subscribe. Be a paid subscriber if you can. I understand that some people can't do that, especially now with all this craziness with the gas prices and all. But if you can afford a few dollars to spend and subscribe here for a paid subscription, that'd be greatly appreciated. All that Amazon money that you might have ever spent in the past, maybe you can get rid of Amazon if you haven't already and subscribe here to this Substack. It'd be really greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for that. And for those of you who do, if you're a free subscriber, thank you as well. I appreciate you smashing those hearts as you've done. Let me read out some comments before I say goodbye on this Sunday, wherever you might be across the world. Good morning, Laura. Laura writes, morning, Omar. Morning to you, Laura. Good afternoon to you, Laura, wherever you may be, or good morning. It's great to have you here as ever. We've already given away, by the way, two paid subscribers, one paid subscriber in the random drawing I just did a few minutes ago. Not this particular one, but a brand new copy of I Am Not Your Negro. That's coming to someone. I will notify them in a little bit, and I will congratulate them formally. And by the way, for paid subscribers as well, there's still at least, I think, one or two who have not claimed their prizes yet. And I know that people don't like to look in their DMs. I understand why. There's a very good reason why there's lots of people who don't like to look in there, because, people say no DMs because people do some really funky, crazy, and actually offensive things in direct messages. And so it's completely understandable. And particularly if you are female, you don't want that kind of attention, right? You don't want unwanted attention. You obviously don't want that kind of attention. And so, some of these men who do these kinds of things in DMs and blah, 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 and so it's completely understandable why you would not want to look in your DMs and why you say no DMs allowed. But I have DM'd paid subscribers who have won, and they have not, some of them have not checked their DMs. So the prize is sitting there waiting for them. So if you are a paid subscriber and you come across this video later, please check your DMs. Please do. Um, there's been one or two people I've had to remind about that. And I understand a lot of people don't want to ever go there with their DMs. So, but I do send DMs notifying you of a prize win. So that's the only thing, I don't, that's what I do. That's what I use a DM for, principally. So please do check your DMs if you're a paid subscriber. Because there have been giveaways and there are unclaimed prizes for one or two of you. So please make sure that you do that. Let me read out some comments before I do say goodbye. J.E. McAuliffe writes, they are giving out statues of a white man named Oscar. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. That's the history of these statues. And I think the whole story goes, I think we'll name the statue Oscar. And it was either after a dog or after a white man specifically. And I forget which it was. It might have been both. But J.E. McAuliffe is not far off with that comment at all. Susan Terrio writes, excuse me, if anyone wants to keep up with the current war, Black Man Spy, Malcolm Nance, and Danish military expert I know, forget his name as well, begins with a J, have a post every morning on Substack at 9 a.m. Eastern for the latest true updates. Yeah, that's a good call, Susan. They are very good. They are very good. I do advise you to follow both of them, to subscribe to both of them as well. Laura Tompkins, Laura again, hello. Sinners must win. Yes, it pays to be a sinner. It will definitely pay to be a sinner today on Sinner Sunday. And by the way, here we go again. I love this. I was so tempted to give this away, but I'm going to end up framing this at some point. Look at that. That's just brilliant artwork. Oh, brilliant artwork. I love this. And it would be really great, by the way, 3 weeks after the indignity of the racism suffered by any black person in the room at the BAFTAs 3 Sundays ago, and most notably, of course, uh, Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan, who are up for Oscars tonight for Sinners. It'd be really great if the Academy recognized them tonight, and I have a strong feeling that they will. It would be nice to see that happen, and especially after what we saw 3 weeks ago at the BAFTAs. This is just lovely, isn't it? Don't you just love this? I know of the. That's just. I know I've not zoomed out from this, but this is just a lovely, great piece of artwork, and I wish I could give credit to the person that put it out here. This might be a rendering from Warner Brothers. It's copyrighted from Warner Brothers, and you might be able to see very small print there. If I take the sheen off of that, right there, copyrighted Warner Brothers Entertainment. 2025. But whoever did the artwork, oh, brilliant stuff. I might give one of these away one of these days. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see about that. Let me read out some more comments before exiting the stage here. Thank you, Omar, says Kimmy. You're welcome. Thank you, Kimmy. Um, Let me see some other things here. La, 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 la. Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, everybody seems to be singing his praises. He's terrific. He had an excellent. This was, and I hope, I don't know if all of you have seen Sinners or not, but if you haven't seen the film Sinners, um, which I have here, by the way. This is, by the way, going to be, this might be the thing I give away tonight, because I might do that tonight for paid subscribers. A Blu-ray, 4K, or DVD of Sinners. The 4K edition, which is this one, the Blu-ray edition, or the DVD edition. So if Sin, I will do this if Sinners wins Best Picture tonight. Okay, if Sinners wins Best Picture tonight, I will be giving this away. Okay, and for paid subscribers only. So this, you could have a double dip. We already have one winner for I Am Not Your Negro. They'll be getting, that particular person will be getting a brand new copy of this, and whether it's Blu-ray or DVD of their choice, whichever they prefer, that will be coming to them. Okay, I'll notify them shortly. And if Sinners wins Best Picture tonight, I will be giving this away, not this exact copy, but this, I'll be giving away a copy of Sinners to a paid subscriber. So let's all root for Sinners, right? And I think it's going to win Best Picture tonight. Again, a history-making 16 Oscar nominations. When you put it in perspective, Titanic, which was at that point back in 1998, the all-time leader with 14 nominations, tied with All About Eve, which is a terrific film from 1950 starring Bette Davis. Titanic in 1998 got 14 nominations to tie All About Eve. And Titanic on the night in 1998 won 11 out of the 14 Oscars it was nominated for. Sinners now has a record 16 Oscar nominations. How many do you think it will win? I think it's going to win 9, but it might win more than 11. I mean, if Titanic won 11, and I think Sinners is by far a better film than Titanic, okay? And I know there were lots of people back in 1997 when Titanic came out who could not stop watching. They went back for repeat viewings. And maybe you might be one of them. I thought that Titanic has some good technical things about it, but as a screenplay, I thought the dialogue was awful. for a 3 hour plus movie. I thought it was awful, but the film, it was watchable. It was watchable. Just the dialogue was awful, in my view, when it came to Titanic. But Titanic won 11 Oscars, okay? So if that film won 11, this film, which has got a good script, great direction, great cinematography, terrific production design, costume design, acting, everything, um, it's got to win more than 11, doesn't it? Now, a caveat, right? The caveat is this. The Color Purple back in 1986 was directed by the one and only legendary filmmaker. Well, there's many legendary filmmakers. I shouldn't say the one and the only, but directed by Steven Spielberg, who's done some terrific films over the decades. Right? He directed The Color Purple. I think it came out in 1985 or 86. The following year, whether it's 86 or 87, Color Purple was nominated for 11 Oscars, and Color Purple was based on Alice Walker's book of the same title. 11 Oscar nominations The Color Purple got, and it won nothing at the Oscars. Nothing. None of the 11. I hope that Sinners does not receive that same fate. I really hope it doesn't. I don't think it will, but let's just make sure that it doesn't tonight. Academy Awards begins at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern here in the United States, live on ABC. Of course, the red carpet starts earlier than that on all these networks, whether it's E or on ABC. They have the red carpet if you like fashions and all the rest of it. Absolutely. Please watch and come back here directly after the Oscars are over, because again, if Sinners wins Best Picture, I'm giving this away. All right. And yeah, I'm also going to probably do some commentary on Substack during the Oscars itself. So, please tune in for that. And of course, I will post during that commentary, if I do it, I will be posting that, yes, I'll give this away once the best picture is revealed, which is, of course, at the very end of the telecast. So please watch tonight. Let me read a couple more things out here. Laura Tompkins writes, fucking right, and I'm a spicy white Italian. And that probably is in response to something that I said about 15 minutes ago. So, Laura, I apologize. Forgive me, Laura. I should have read out your comment earlier. I don't know what you were saying it in response to, but that's my fault because I read out your comment, and you probably wrote this about 10 minutes ago. So, um, Jacob Korsbo, that is the name. Susan is absolutely right, of the Danish analyst and expert, military expert and analyst, and he talks about a lot of foreign policy things, and yeah, he and Malcolm Nance, you should be subscribing to them. They do really a lot of good work, and they do daily dispatches, and they've been terrific. Let's see here. Let's do this. Da 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 da. Beautiful flick as well. Laura writes. Let's see. I had better win. Yeah. Um, you know, um, Thank you, Laura. Oh, let me read these other ones. There's a load of these. Um, Fantastic movie, period. Laura says, I believe she's talking about Sinners, which of course is here. And Gorgeous Love the Style says, Igor Isa. I absolutely do love it. Laura says, you are fantastic. You are a fantastic good man, Omar, honestly. Laura, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I do appreciate that very much. And thank you for joining, Laura, and thank you for following here, and thank you for being a subscriber. Everybody here, whether you're a paid subscriber or a free subscriber, thank you. If you can become a paid subscriber, folks, please do. I do give out do newsletters as well. There'll be another one today. I didn't do one last week because I was in Los Angeles. And so I didn't have the time to do one, literally. It was just crazy. But I will certainly make up for that. There'll be paid subscriber dispatches that will be received a little bit later on, that I normally do once a week. So if you are not a paid subscriber, please become one, because you will get a lot of good information, all factual and well documented, well sourced, and a number of other extras that I put in these newsletters. So it would be really great if you could partake in that. And also, you get a chance to win this. So if you become a paid subscriber um, today, and of course, if Sinners wins Best Picture, you have a very good chance to win one of these. I may even give away two of these tonight, at least one of these tonight. If it wins Best Picture, it's got to win Best Picture though, right? So please keep that in mind. To become a paid subscriber, please do. Nobody's giving away things like this. Nobody. I don't think so. I really don't. They're not giving away copies of Vice President Harris's book, brand new. They're not giving away these books. I've got more, and I'm going to be giving away more for paid subscribers only, right? Because I do believe that giving is better than receiving. I'm a big believer in that. Now, receiving's nice, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not true. It's very nice to do. But giving is a really important thing. It's good for your heart and soul. And it shouldn't be done for any ulterior motive, because I don't do this for an ulterior motive at all. I've been giving away things for a long time. I really have been. I've been giving away things for a long, long time on social media, online. So this is not the first rodeo for me. I've given away movie tickets. It's not even me bragging. I'm just telling you. I've given away movie tickets to people. I've given away all kinds of things to people. Gift certificates, movie tickets to people. I have given away a load of movie tickets. I left movie tickets at a theater here in town several times for big movies, directed by black directors. Ava DuVernay did a movie called A Wrinkle in Time several years ago. I gave away 10 movie tickets for that. I've done this for a number of different things. So this is not my first rodeo. I'm not doing that to say that I'm better than anyone else or worse than anyone else. I'm just saying that I've done this for a long time. And if you are a paid subscriber here, you will benefit not only from the newsletters and the dispatches and other extra things that I put forth to paid subscribers, but also the giveaways. So please consider that. Thank you, Laura, for your compliment as well. I really do appreciate that. And compliments are good things, and I do know that that's sincere, because I'm not looking for compliments, but I do take those with great praise, and I do appreciate them, because I don't believe you should go, oh no, 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 none of that false modesty stuff, right? I do genuinely thank you, Laura, for what you said. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you. I do appreciate that. And I do know that you're being sincere, because I sense that you're a very sincere person when you say that. And I don't take what you said lightly either. So thank you, Laura, for that. And again, please become a paid subscriber. Everybody watching, if you can afford to do so, really, it would be greatly appreciated as well. And so let me read out some other things here. Um, I had better win, Laura says. Again, paid subscribers. If you're a paid subscriber, definitely you have a fair chance. I've given away to a number of paid subscribers already a number of prizes. You also get a choice, and I will, when I go DM folks with these two giveaways I've done, it's going to be specifically obviously the things I'm giving away. The person who will receive this will be notified that they will be getting this. And if Sinners wins Best Picture tonight, um the person who does win this will be notified. But in other giveaways I do in the future for paid subscribers, there are so many choices, including gift certificates that are not from Target, not from Amazon. Okay, I am doing nothing with those companies. And by the way, if you are watching this and you're going to Target and you're shopping there, could you please not shop at Target? I know it's difficult for some people because maybe Target's right down the street from them and it's the closest thing. But contrary to what you've heard, this boycott of Target is continuing. Okay. Um, they have revoked, they have eliminated the diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And please don't go and shop there at Target, please. Many of us as Black folk, we are continuing to boycott Target. Okay, they continue to they continue to roll back their DEI initiatives. They are the diversity, equity, inclusion. They are not returning that. And so, look, there are companies you can subscribe to and you can uh, patronize, like Costco, like a number of other places. Black-owned businesses. Please go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Shopblackstarnetwork.com. That is a great place. Roland Martin, that's his website for black-owned businesses. If you are a spicy white, as I've heard that term from Laura and other folks, please shop with black businesses, black-owned businesses. If you're whether you're spicy white or you're just a vanilla white, shop at black-owned businesses. If you're a black person watching this, shop at black-owned businesses. Okay, there's so many of them out there. There's obws.com, which is official blackwallstreet.com. That's OBWS. I'll put that in the chat. Okay. I just want to let everybody know I don't want to let that opportunity pass by, right? OBWS.com. There are millions of black owned businesses, right? And if you don't want to shop, and listen, there are lots of alternatives to Amazon, to all these Amazon owned things, to an alternative to Target as well. Okay. You can go shop at Trader Joe's. If you have one of them near you, your mom and pop business down your street, your local grocery, there's a million ways, right? We don't have to be going to these corporations who are bankrolling the Trump regime and this horrible demolition of part of the White House. And now there's a report about columns. Now we want colonial columns like Julius Caesar in Rome instead of the columns that are there now. This is a desecration of the people's house, built by black folk. Enslaved black people built the White House. Let me remind you, right? Enslaved black folk built the White House. My ancestors, black folks' ancestors built that place. And you've got this piece of racist garbage, felon, demolishing the house that our ancestors built. We built the country. Native American, and this is Native American land that we're on. So I just want to get serious about that for a moment, okay, as well. Let me see if anyone else has written. Let's see. Oh, thank you for smashing those hearts. That's the way. We love that. I wish we didn't have an algorithmic world, but I do thank you for smashing these hearts. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for that. Um, J.E. McAuliffe writes, absolutely did not predict what happened in Sinners. Definitely worth seeing. Yeah, do not give anything away. And I know J.E. did not give anything away. But if you've not yet seen this film, please do. Please do. Okay. Um, and like I said, if it wins Best Picture tonight, paid subscribers, fasten your seatbelts, right? Because this could be yours. And I may be giving away two of them. I might. We'll see. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in. No, I'm gonna. I'm definitely gonna give away one. Okay. But it's got to win Best Picture though. Paid subscribers only. So it does pay to be a paid subscriber. So please oblige. Please do. It would be greatly appreciated. You will see the benefits of it, not just with the giveaways, but with the additional things that you will get as a paid subscriber here. So thank you, thank you, thank you for those of you who are becoming paid subscribers or who are already paid subscribers. Thank you, and thank you for those of you who subscribe anyway. I do appreciate that too. By the way, I did write an essay, a brief one, on Sinners and on Sinners Sunday. So that is posted on my Substack right now. Please take a look at that, if you will. It's a quick read. It's not one of the longer essays that I write. It's a quick read. So it would be greatly appreciated if you do that. Let's see here. Beautiful flick as well, Laura says. Absolutely. Nine at minimum predicts Igor Issa. Yep. As I say, I think it will be at least nine. Igor Issa, thank you for subscribing and watching. Um, yeah, I do. I think it. Now I'm beginning to think, though, Igor Issa, that it might even be a bit more than nine, but nine at minimum. So there we go. And I appreciate your interaction as always. Thank you very much for that. Let's see here. I 100% agree on Titanic, Igor writes. Igor Issa writes, I 100% agree on Titanic. Great visuals and acting, but terrible script. Yes. That, and by the way, Igor, Isa, and to everyone else watching this, whether you're watching it live or later, the script was awful, and it was the only thing that I believe was not nominated of the 14 Oscars that it was. And someone can check me on this. Of the 14 Oscars it was nominated for, I believe it was the one of the few things it was not nominated for, the screenplay. And if it was nominated for the screenplay, it certainly did not win the screenplay award that Oscars back in 1998. Somebody can check me on that as well. I'm pretty well up on my Oscars history. The Oscars has had an awful record with black people, with Asian people as well, by the way. We've only had one Asian woman win Best Actress, and we've only had one black woman win Best Actress. I don't think we've not had an Asian man win Best Actor. Ever. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. And we've only had two female directors win Best Director. Two. One of them is Asian, Chloe Zhao, for her great directing in the film. I think it's called Nomadland. During COVID, I think it's 2020 or 2021. That one for marvelous stuff with Frances McDormand. Remember her her acting, and that was very good. She's won three Best Actress Oscars. That's fantastic for her. But Chloe Zhao was one of two. Is one of two. Only two women, two female directors ever to win Best Director at the Oscars in its nearly 100-year history. That should tell you something about the Academy Awards and the Oscars, right? And who runs it? White men. So the other female director, the other woman who won Best Director was Catherine Bigelow for her directing of the film The Hurt Locker a few years back as well. And that won Best Picture as well, The Hurt Locker, Catherine Bigelow. So those are the two directors, the two female directors, and there's never been a black director win Best Director. Hopefully that changes tonight. Hopefully. Finally. I don't know if it will because Paul Thomas Anderson, who directed, let's see, one battle after another. He won the Directors Guild Award a few weeks ago, and the Directors Guild winner is an almost guaranteed predictor that the Best Director winner will be the same person. There's only been maybe 4 or 5 times in the 60 odd year history of the Directors Guild Awards that the person who won the Directors Guild didn't go on to win the Best Director at the Oscars. So the chances are that Paul Thomas Anderson, given that history, he directed films like Boogie Nights. He's directed films like There Will Be Blood, and a number of other films, including Phantom Thread, which I thought was a terrific film. And he's directed One Battle After Another, which I didn't think was a very good film. And he's probably going to win Best Director over Ryan Coogler, although I think Ryan Coogler richly deserves Best Director for Sinners. Oh, gosh. Anyway, I don't want to give away anything about Sinners, but if you watch that film, and if you haven't, please do. And I know it's available on streaming and all that, but you can get it for free here if you're a paid subscriber, if it wins Best Picture tonight. So we'll see about Ryan Coogler. I'll be rooting for all of the folks at Sinners, all the great people who made that film come alive. And let's hope they go for the sweep. I hope they do a sweep 16 of all 16 nominations. We'll see. Oh gosh, I've got one other thing I was going to say before I sign off here. Thank you for hitting the hearts. Really appreciate you all. Thank you for spending a bit of your Sunday, almost an hour now, with yours truly live with Omar Moore. Igor, Isa, 100% on the screenplay of Titanic. That was a dreadful script. And that movie made over $1 billion, folks. Sinners has made, I think, worldwide over $360 million worldwide. Over in this country alone, I think it was over 240 million or so. But you can go check that boxofficemojo.com, by the way. Boxofficemojo.com. You can go look that up. It's about 360 odd million worldwide for Sinners. Love the color purple, Laura says. Racist assholes back then. Yeah, a lot of people, folks, Uh, yeah, The Color Purple. A lot. There was people who didn't like The Color Purple. There were people who did. The book by Alice Walker, I would recommend solidly as a read. The film, the acting in The Color Purple was excellent. I thought Danny Glover was very good. Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah Winfrey, Margaret Avery, a number of other folks who did great jobs acting in that film. Quincy Jones did the score of that movie, by the way. And yeah, it didn't win anything at the Oscars. The Academy's done this forever. Never, a black woman, by the way, has never even been nominated for Best Director. Let me repeat that for people at the back. A black woman has never been nominated by the Academy for a Best Director Oscar. Now, look, yes, the Academy is racist. Yes, the Academy is made up of white men over the age of 65, majority of them, right? That is changing a little bit thanks to Cheryl Boone Isaacs. And I want to also say we must honor our own, right? While the Academy is billed as the creme de la creme, and I will be watching the Oscars tonight, and I have a love-hate relationship with the Oscars, let us never forget great award shows like the Black Reel Awards. I had Cordell Martin on a few weeks ago here, talking to him about the Black Reel Awards, celebrating Black excellence, the best of Black performances and Black ingenuity behind the camera on cinema, because we have to honor our own. So, as much as people ballyhoo the Oscars and that, yes, I watch it and all that, what really counts is when we, as Black people, honor ourselves. That matters more, actually, to me. The NAACP Image Awards happened a couple of weeks ago. We've seen the Essence Awards are coming, or they've already happened. All of these organizations who recognize Black people and Black talent, you know, the reason why we have these organizations in the first place is because we aren't being recognized by the Academy. So we honor ourselves, because if we don't honor ourselves, who will? Right? So, there are people who complain, oh, why are there all these black award shows? Well, damn. The question you should be asking is, why is it that white people at these awards bodies never look, hardly ever, award black people for the great work that they do? Why don't you ask that question to those of you out there in the world who say these kinds of things, right? Why don't you ask that question? Instead of asking, well, why are there all these black shirts? Why don't to the people this applies to? Why don't you ask why your white comrades in these awards bodies always overlook black talent and have never nominated a black woman for best director at the Oscars in 98 years and 99 years of Oscar history? Ava DuVernay was never nominated for her directing of the film Selma. Dee Rees was never nominated for her great work with the film Mudbound. Casey Lemons was never nominated for her great work directing the film Harriet, about Harriet Tubman. I mean, Gina Prince Bythewood, she wasn't nominated for her directing of any film that she's done, including the film Beyond the Lights, I believe it was called. I can go through all of these directors, black women, black female directors, who were never even nominated. There's never been one. I'm not talking a winner. I'm talking nominated. Go look it up. You don't have to believe a word I'm saying. I mean, I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking the facts. Go look it up. You will not find them. You will not find them. You won't. But like I said, keep in mind again, folks, that we must honor ourselves. We must, as black people, we must honor ourselves and hold ourselves in the esteem that we know we march with our heads held high and proud. And I want to close on that, right? I know I can go on about a lot of other things, but I want you to know that we can hold our heads up high and we don't have to wait for the Oscars to praise us. Listen, I will be happy tonight when Sinners wins, and hopefully will win Best Picture as well. I will celebrate that. I'll be happy about it. But let me tell you, I am very happy too that Sinners won with the Black Reel Awards a few weeks ago. Won, I think, 16 or 17 of the 21 or 22 Black Reel Awards it was nominated with. And full disclosure, I am a member of the board, one of the in the writers division of the Black Reel Awards. So full disclosure about that. I was happy when the NAACP Image Awards, uh, gave so many of its Image Awards to this film. So, yeah, the Academy has its place, but it ain't the be all and end all. And quite frankly, although and I know I'll be very happy for these folks tonight, but the Oscar for some people has not been a great thing. Gwyneth Paltrow did not benefit from winning an Oscar when she won for Shakespeare in Love. I'll talk about a lot of this tonight, by the way. That's why it pays to return here right after the end of the Oscars, right here live, because I'll be talking a little bit about this. Gwyneth Paltrow, who some people love and some people don't like at all. Gwyneth Paltrow built her own business, and she said, "F the Oscar." And I would curse, but I try not to. I mean, I will read out people cursing on here, but I will try not to curse. But I will curse now. Gwyneth Paltrow basically said, she didn't say this per se, but she basically said, "Fuck the Oscars. I'm going to do my thing." Right? And she won an Oscar. Right? And she built a business. She did all these things, and now she's doing her own thing. Good for her, right? Right? Look at Halle Berry. Halle Berry won an Oscar, and her career has not exactly been a. She's not. I mean, she's still in lots of films and lots of TV things, but I think her career could have been even bigger than it has been. The only black woman ever to win Best Actress, and I didn't like the film that she won for, but she won the award, right? And you've got some of these white guys winning these Oscars, people like Adrian Brody, who I just cannot stand, who I just think is a horrible person. Look, he might be watching this, but maybe not. And when you throw your chewing gum at your wife during one of these ceremonies, as you did, Adrian, last year, I believe it was either at the Oscars or one of these other things that when you won for The Brutalist last year, Best Actor, or whether it was at the Golden Globes or something like that, and you actually threw your chewing gum back at your wife as you were walking toward the stage to accept your art. Yeah, you're not a very nice guy. And I know we see you on the ads for, oh, TurboTax and oh, yes. And you're on stage on Broadway. Good for your career. I mean, listen, I got nothing personal against Adrian Brody. I just don't particularly like him because he was the one who also assaulted, sexually assaulted Halle Berry on stage in 2003. And if you don't believe me, oh, you do believe me, but you can check again because, again, check me. Go and look at the video of what he did to Halle Berry on that stage in front of the world in 2003 when he won Best Actor for the film The Pianist, directed by, drum roll please, Roman Polanski. I will not say any more about that. But anyway, Adrian Brody, no, not a fan. But anyhow, folks, Halle Berry is the only black woman ever to win an Oscar in all of these years. You think of all the performances. You think of Dorothy Dandridge in 1956, I believe it was, with Carmen Jones. Go watch that film when she was in that film with Harry Belafonte, our dearly beloved brother, Harry Belafonte, Mr. B. Right? Go watch Carmen Jones. You tell me that performance wasn't worthy of winning a Best Actress. Come on now. Some of these people who've won these Oscars, don't be trifling with us, folks. Come on now. You know what and Laura says she's not watching the Oscars. And I don't blame you, Laura. I, I really don't. But I will. Oh, I'm just gonna root for Sinners. Sinners! Come on, Sinners. All right. I really should get going. And because I don't want to keep you. I've got things to do, and so do you. Um, Edie from Canada says racism, absolutely. Let's see. Omar Cindy asks, what did Precious win? It won Best Best Supporting Actress for Monique. To answer Cindy's question from earlier, Monique, and that was Best Supporting Actress. I didn't like that film at all for lots of reasons. Her performance was very good. I didn't particularly like the character, but it doesn't matter whether I like the character or not. That's my view. I mean, it does matter. It matters to me. but but yeah, Monique did a great job. She did a really good job in the film. I just didn't like the character. I didn't like the film. But Monique did win Best Supporting Actress for Precious. And I think it also won Best Original Screenplay or Best Adapted Screenplay as well, Cindy. Um, and I forget the name of Jeffrey, whatever his last name was, who won that night. I think it was for best adapted screenplay because Precious is based on a novel, on a book. So, Cindy, that answers your question. I'll be taking questions about Oscars too in the post Oscars show here. So you can ask away about that. Let me see here. Is there a silly notion, asks JN, that white folks won't watch black centric movies? It's just confounding. Well, JN, that's not, I don't know if that's a baited question or if you're being sincere in asking it. JN, that's not a silly notion at all. There are lots of white people who do not watch black centered movies, and there are a certain segment of white populations who actually do. Um, and we can see with proof a lot of white people went to watch Sinners. There's definitely showing proof of that. There's definitely proof that a lot of black people watch Sinners because black folk disproportionately represent the movie ticket buying public in the United States. Black people spend proportionally more money than any other group of people in the United States on movie tickets. Fact, 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 fact. But it is true that there are a load of white folk who do not watch black centered films. I know white people who I will say to them, you should go watch this movie that's black focused, black centered, black directed. And then I'll ask them a month later, did you see it? No. I'll say, recommend some book, black book. Did you read? No. Did you? No, no. Oh, I'm busy. No. I get that all the time. And there's some white people I know of who will read these books or who do go watch these movies. So it's not a silly notion. I'm not going to sit here and say that all white people don't watch black movies or black or read because that's just not true. Okay, I'm not gonna say that, but I will say, JN, that there's a sizable number of white people certainly in the United States, who do not watch black TV series, black films, black centered films, black directed films that focus on black issues and on any black experience. Will not watch it. Will not. Don't take an interest in it. By the way, here's a story. I should probably tell this story later on, but I'll tell it now. Right? This is probably something I should say tonight after the Oscars, but I'll say it now. I'm a member of a film critics group here in San Francisco, right? And about 15 years ago, maybe 15, 12, 13 years ago, when Selma came out, directed by Ava DuVernay that I mentioned earlier, the mostly white critics body that I belong to, um, none of them voted for Selma because it didn't make the second round of voting. Didn't even make the second round of voting. And I actually was pissed off about that. So much so that I got up, as I often do, in a room full of white people, and I said, "What is this? I have something to say. What is this? I'm not saying that you have to make Selma winning the award for our critics group. I'm not saying that you have to anoint it the winner, but to not even give that film enough votes to get to the second round of voting. This is not even the final round of voting. Nobody in here saw fit to even give that film a second round appearance. I think that's disgraceful. I think that's disgraceful. And I said, yeah, you're entitled to vote for whatever film you want to vote for. But to not even give that film A second round? That film didn't even get that. Ava DuVernay directing that film. There are great performances in that film. There's absolutely brilliant direction, cinematography, music score, production design. Didn't make the second round, but all these other films did. And I'm like, what? So I said something about that. And of course, I got the predictable reaction that I would in a room of mostly white individuals in it. And they said nothing. And then at the end of the of our film meeting that year, somebody or two people came up to me, who white people came up to me and said, "Oh, Omar, I totally agreed with you." But I'm like, dude, why didn't you speak up when I was talking about it? It's like the parking lot militant, right? That comes along in the parking lot after you've made your stand with nobody backing you up. And then at the end says, "Oh, yeah, you were great in that meeting, Omar," or "You're great in that meeting, brother." And yet, where was your ass? You didn't speak up and back me. And I'm not like that. If someone has something to say in a meeting, I will back them up if they are talking about something that makes a lot of sense. But when I stood up in that room, I know that these folks don't care and don't respect, or don't, many of them don't care or respect or like me. I don't care whether they like me or not, or whether they, whatever. But I'm going to say what I have to say. And one thing that Vice President Harris has often said: you might be the only one in that room if you're black. You might be the only black person in that room, but always remember that you are carrying so many people with you, and you're representing a struggle of so many of our people. So I'm paraphrasing essentially what Vice President Harris has said a lot. She said it during 2024. She's been in those rooms as the only black person in them, but she is not alone. Even though she's the only black, she's representing so many people, standing on the shoulders of her ancestors, of our ancestors, of our black ancestors, our ancestors. And I never forget those things. And I never forget about that. And when I made that speech in that room, I don't care. I don't care whether they're pissed off or mad or racist or what. You have to make a stand. And that also goes for any white person watching this. And I understand you might feel uncomfortable, you might not feel it's safe, but safety has never been here for us, baby. Uh-uh. We have never been safe in this place. And do you think Harriet Tubman was safe? You think she was safe? You think the people she rescued, the enslaved black folk she rescued in the Underground Railroad, do you think that they were safe? Do you think that that was a safe trip for her to make back and forth? She had no compass. She had no clock. She had the moonlight, the moonlight. And she also helped, she strategized battles, by the way, for the Civil War. A lot of people don't know that about Harriet Tubman. She was a strategist, a battle strategist. And the U.S. Army used her, recruited her. She helped them, or I should say, the Union helped. The Union recruited her. Anyway, a story to that effect. You can go look that up. I don't have the exact year, but you can check that out too. Anyway, that's a long answer to what Jan was asking. Jan, thank you for the question. I hope it's sincere. I believe it is sincere. Maybe it's not sincere, but you can tell me. But thank you, Jan. I think you are being sincere. Um, And yeah, I would agree with anyone that says, yeah, it's ridiculous to say that all white people are like this, but no. But I will also say that there is a segment of white America who will not look at this stuff. But there are lots of white people who will. It's kind of like the white people who um, say, "Oh yes, let's deport all of these brown folk." But what are they doing? Going to a Mexican restaurant. What are they doing? What are they going to do in 2 months' time? Celebrate Cinco de Mayo. See the hypocrisy, right? That happens though. There's a lot of that. It's the thing is that you love our culture, but you don't like us. So while it's true that some of that may be a little bit, half baked, it's very true that there are white people who, some of them, who will not want anything to do with black art, black film, black anything. But they will go boogie oogie woogie down with some rapper. They'll have that pipe pumping out of their vehicle. Man, oh man, one of these days I'm going to do a Substack live on all this. By the way, if you can see there above me and my fingers pointing at it, there's a book there that you can see me pointing at. It's called White Negroes. You need to read that book, okay? Please read that book. Please read that book. And Laura says, whites must speak up tonight on stage. I agree. I love Hallie, Kimmy says. Um, yeah, Kimmy, that's a true story. Kimmy says, what? She writes, I didn't know about the chewing gum story. Yeah, that is true. And I'm telling you, he threw either chewing gum or some substance because he was chewing something. And so his name was called out, whether it was at the Oscars last year or whether it was the Golden Globes or something like that. And he was chewing something and he threw it. There's video of this. You can find it. True story about Adrian Brody back at his wife. I mean, he's a piece of shit. But there you go. Oh yeah, this is all true. Laura echoes this. Can't stand Brody. Yeah, and his ass is all over the place. See, the people that you don't like, some of you, because I know some of you probably do like Aiden Brody. Listen, you can like who you like and hate who you, or don't like who you don't like. Right? That's up to you, right? I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, how dare you? Unless you are supporting racists and people who are anti-black racists, then I will say something. But some of the people you don't like, you find out, don't you notice they're everywhere? You people that you don't like, I mean, or that you don't respect, or that you find problematic. No surprise, a system is in place, right? So, not just a system, which is deliberate, right? And these people, some of them are like really abhorrent people, or you've heard some really, or you've seen them do some horrible things, but yet they're everywhere. Like, yeah, there's a reason for that, right? Anyway, don't meet your heroes, folks. Don't meet all of your heroes. Let me put it that way. And Nancy says she remembers that. Anyway, TCM, yeah, that's a great thing. That's a great station. They're doing 31 days of Oscars on TCM. Laura, absolutely right, Laura. Yep, JN Halle portrayed Dorothy Dandridge. Yeah, full circle moment. That's a good point there, JN. Wow, she's really the only black woman that won. Yeah, that is a true story, JE. Halle Berry is the only black woman to win Best Actress. Let me just make that very clear. Specifically, Best Actress. She's not the only black woman who won an Oscar because Whoopi Goldberg's won an Oscar. I talked about Monique winning an Oscar previously. I've talked about a number of other people winning Oscars who are black. There are other black women who have won. Hannah Beachler won, became the first black woman that the Academy decided to award an Oscar to for production design on Black Panther. That was a few short years ago. Ruthie Carter, black woman, won an Oscar for costume design for Black Panther. First black woman to do that, to be awarded that by the mostly white Academy, right? That happened for the first Black Panther film. Uh, there were other winners. Let's see. I talked about Halle Berry. I talked about Whoopi Goldberg. I talked about Monique. There's one or two other. I'm trying to think of them. I think Octavia Spencer won an Oscar for The Help, a movie I detested, by the way. But because some of these winners are winning for like these really racist, stereotypical roles. And how can I forget Viola Davis winning Best Supporting Actress for the film Fences? Viola Davis is a superb actor. She should have 3 Oscars by now, by the way. She was very good in The Help, a film I didn't like, but her character was terrific, right? Guess who won that year for Best Actress? Three, two, one. Meryl Streep for playing Margaret Thatcher in the film The Iron Lady. The better performance was Viola Davis in The Help, and I hated The Help as a film. But Viola Davis was very good in it. Octavia Spencer won that year. Black woman, best supporting actress. So there are black women who have won Oscars, JE, but the only black woman in 99 years of Oscars history to win Best Actress is Halle Berry. She won in 2002 for the film Monsters Ball. Monsters Ball. Ball. Monsters Ball. Okay. Gosh, this is going over an hour now. I've really got to get going. And so do you. I don't typically watch the Oscars, says JE. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Cindy, for that. Um, no, the film's too long. Thank you, dear Omar. Thank you, Laura. What a kind comment. Thank you for being a sincere human being and a kind human being and a decent human being. I don't know you personally, but I sense that you are a decent and kind person. Not only because you complimented me, not only because you complimented me, but because I've seen a number of your comments and things you've said, and um, I do. Oh, sorry. I think I may have just bungled this a bit here. I'm sorry about that. I do sense the sincerity that you have, right? I don't take that lightly. So thank you so much for that. I'm sorry if the video is kind of being a little bit shifty here for a second, but thank you for that, Laura. Appreciate that very much. Thank you again, Omar. Good session, Omar. Enjoyed it. Sincere. Yeah, sincere. Yeah, JN registers that they are being sincere about this. Um, Thank you, JN. And I sensed you were being sincere. I thought so. Um, no, JN writes, thank you for addressing that. I didn't mean any disrespect. I didn't think you did, but I don't want to make assumptions about people one way or the other, right? Because some people do post some things on chats. Obviously not you, but there are people who do post things on chats, and you're like, okay, yeah, you're sending another message here. And as black folk, we pick up on this shit really quickly. Second time I've cursed today on this. We pick up on that real quick. So, let's. I didn't think you were, but I just don't want to make blanket assumptions one or the other. So being discerning is important. I've talked about discernment a lot. Omar, is racism as horrible in the UK as it is in the US? I apologize for my ignorance, writes Nancy. Yeah, it's horrible here it's horrible in the UK too. Yeah, it is. I do think that the UK has a lot of this as well, as do a lot of countries. And it was really horrible back in the day in the UK. And it still is now. There's a lot of things structurally with the institutions in the United Kingdom that are racist, and there are still a number of white people, quite a large group of white people who remain racist, anti-black racists as well, anti-black racists who are racist. So yeah, it is horrible in the UK, and it's horrible in a lot of insidious ways in the United Kingdom. So yes, to answer your question, yeah, and I will do an Ask Me session as well. So that's coming as well. But I do want to thank you. I'm going to say goodbye now. Um, gosh, there's so many great comments here, but there's so much to read out. There really is. But thank you very much indeed for your comments here, for your support, for your consciousness. Please continue to be if you're a white person watching this, please continue to be an ally, a genuine ally, a partner. If you really want to show yourself, not me or any other black, but to show yourself that you are an anti-racist and that you do believe in humanity and you do believe in black empowerment and you believe in these things, please show it with your actions when no one's watching. And some of you are doing that. I'm not disputing that because you've said that and I believe you. But please do that, right? Please continue when no one's watching you. When no one's on Substack watching you, when you're not on Substack, go and do those things affirmatively that benefit black people, right? That really make a difference. Recommend a black person that you know, if you know a black person. Recommend them for a job, right? Recommend them for a job, right? Instead of someone else. Do that, right? Over 400,000 black women have been fired by this piece of orange garbage over the last 14 months or so. Suggest a black person at your job for a job that you know of in your if you're employed right now, because a lot of people aren't. But if you're employed, if you're white and you're employed and you know of job vacancies, or even if there aren't any, suggest to your boss a black person that you know who is qualified, who can do this job. Because you know, Lord knows, how many white people have you seen recently, publicly, who are not qualified, who are absolutely stupid? Look at that deposition, those depositions you watched. They were running the country. You got a number of them doing it now. And these people are not just mediocre, they're much worse than that in this regime. I mean, you have people on your job who probably, some of them, who are not very smart. And you know they got that job because they know their daddy knows somebody. Their mother knows somebody. Come on now, let's be real. Let's be real. Come on now. Anyway, so please, you have the power to do that. And if you're black watching this, please continue to support black owned business, white people too, anyone watching this. Support black owned businesses, right? We need to have a more of a community, right? We should not be in silos. We cannot as black people afford to be in silos. In fact, there's a sister that I'm going to try to get in contact with, who tried to get in contact with me. I forget her name now. Jackie Verbal. Subscribe to Jackie Verbal. Jacquie is her first name. Verbal, literally verbal. Verbal is her last name. Subscribe to her, right? We as black people need to be subscribing to each other. And we are, some of us are, but we cannot be in silence. We need to form groups, collectives, all these things. Very important, right? Let's form a community together. Let's do that. So that's another thing I'll say. Gosh, I've kept you way too long. Gosh, there's so many comments. I could really read all these out, but I have to go and you have to go too. I know you do. We all have to speak up, folks. I've seen that in the comments. And yes, speak up when it's not popular to do so. Speak up when it makes you uncomfortable, but you got to do it. Viola Davis, I've got to post something that Viola Davis, a video, I think it's from CBS this morning or CBS Sunday or whatever, Sunday morning or something, or CBS this morning. There's a white woman who interviewed Viola Davis, and Viola Davis talked about being uncomfortable and how being uncomfortable was a necessary thing in order to grow, in order to make discoveries. I'll see if I can post that in the next hour or so. There's a clip, I'm sure there's a clip running around somewhere, but I saw this today. I know I have to get that out there. And on the popcorn, on the Politicrat podcast that I'm going to do, that will be part of it tomorrow. So please continue to support that as well. Please be a paid subscriber if you can. It'd be great to have your paid subscription because, again, you get all of these great things. And again, as a reminder tonight, right after the Oscars, please come back here if it's not too late on the East Coast, because I know the Oscars can go a million hours. It's starting at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. They started it an hour earlier last year as well because they know these blooming things go on forever. And if you're not watching the Oscars tonight, fine, I'll watch it so you don't have to, right? And I'll come back here, talk a little bit about the Oscars afterwards, all right? And if Sinners wins Best Picture, paid subscribers, I'll put you in the drawing to win this. I might even give away two of them. So so we'll see. So it pays to be paid. It pays to be a paid subscriber, all right? Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for bearing with me for this last hour and a half. You've been watching Live with Omar Moore, the Sinners Sunday edition of this edition of Live with Omar Moore. Sinners Sunday. Happy Sinners Sunday, everybody, on this Oscar Sunday. The Oscars today. as well. Again, I'll be back here right after the end of the Oscars, and maybe, if Sinners wins Best Picture, a giveaway for paid subscribers only. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hitting the hearts. It's been a pleasure once again. Thank you for this last hour and a half of your precious time. And take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.